Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Timm, and I am a real estate agent with the Holt Real Estate Team in Madison, Wisconsin. So we service primarily the southern Wisconsin area, and this is the weekly market recap for the week of June 15th, 2026. This is going to be kind of a short one this week, so I'm going to go slide by slide and kind of explain what I'm seeing in the market, and I would love your eventual feedback on this. So, yeah, let's get right into it. All right, so we're going to start with the buyer's market. So, right now, rates are staying in the mid 6% right now because inflation is still elevated. And we've been noticing that through the past month, I would say. A lot of buyers are sitting on the sidelines as confidence has dipped a bit. No, I'm going to stop there because I don't recommend necessarily sitting on the sidelines if you actually want to buy. Pardon me. If you are pre-approved and you are a buyer in the market that, as I say, is pre-approved, or if you have proof of funds for a cash transaction, that's wonderful. So I always say date the rate and marry the house. Date the rate and marry the house because you can always adjust your rate. You can always get closing costs taken care of. You can buy down your rate with your lender. Talk to your agent, talk to your lender about that. So now, I am continuing to notice a drop in inventory. So, supply is tightening right now, and this happens when competition starts to build. So, buyers don't have to love the rate, as I said, they just need to have the right strategy to move at the right time. Rates, again, are around 6.6% right now for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. So, competition is definitely building in many markets around the area. And again, the trick is not to time the market perfectly right now. So I'm working with a few sellers, and that's one thing my seller said is, yeah, I'm not really trying to time the market, I'm just trying to move when the time is right for me. And so that's what you have to do. So that's what you have to do as a buyer. You have to buy when the time is right for you. So I would love to sit down with you if you are looking to get into the market. I'd love to sit down and maybe hash out a plan with you and find out what your numbers look like and what your move timelines are and see when the time is right. So we're going to move on to the next slide, seller's market. So as I mentioned in the previous slide, the inventory is tightening, forcing some local markets, I would say, into a mini seller's market. So couple of months back, okay, I don't know if you follow me on social media, but if you do, you will see some posts that I made talking about this. So I'm noticing in some areas we're down to less than 2 months, even in some of my local markets, which is southern Wisconsin, less than 1.8 months of supply of inventory. That's incredibly low right now, lower than we quote unquote should be at this point in the year. So we are below inventory levels from the same time last year. And in my opinion, this is an excellent window for sellers to get their house on the market right now. The It's an excellent window for sellers to be a bit more bold as inventory tightens and rates stabilize. Now, competition is the bigger risk right now than rates at the present moment. So, as I say, in many different pockets in my local area, I am seeing localized sellers markets. So, if you are on the other side of the transaction, if you are a seller, again, this is a good time to get out there. This is a great window of opportunity for you. So, but no, that being said, I would caution the seller that they do need to be cautious about those mini sellers markets. While it's true inventory is tighter right now, sellers don't want to count on that too much. It's a window, but with anything in the real estate market, we don't know how long that window is going to be open or how wide that window has opened up. So they don't want to take sore advantage of it because then they risk losing collaboration opportunities with an interested buyer. So my best advice to you as a seller is talk to your agent. If you don't have an agent, get a hold of me. I would love to be your agent. So talk to your agent about this, and they will have real-time data to share with you about what's going on in your local market. All right, we're gonna do a little bit of an overview. So, as I mentioned before, this, in my opinion, is a stability and not a waiting game. Buyers do have a little bit more clarity now, and some, as I say, some buyers are sitting this one out, and no shame on them. You know, maybe right now is just not a good time for them, and maybe the numbers don't make sense or whatever. But I know some buyers are sitting out due to the rate, and as I say, date the rate, marry the house. Inventory is not keeping up with demand, and as I said before, just a few minutes ago, this is a good window for sellers to get their homes out there and strike a deal with the buyer. As I mentioned a few weeks ago, and some people might get, tired of me saying this, but you have to be prepared. Buyers have to know their numbers. They have to know what their budget is, where they're moving, what their move timelines are, and that kind of thing. Same thing with the sellers. The needle is, as I say, in some areas, kind of kicking over to the seller a little bit, and sellers need to be prepared too. It's not a slam dunk. So we are getting to the end of the second quarter pretty much. And as inventory is tightening again, this is an excellent time for sellers to take advantage of the window to get your home on the market. So we're a couple months away from August. August is traditionally, and I say that in quotes, traditionally not a good time to list a home because we're getting towards the end of the seller's market, end of the summer market, I'm sorry. And some people are kind of thinking their fall and very early winter plans at that point. So, but we're a long ways away from that yet. So it's a good time. Really good time. As I say, the market is starting to stabilize, and that is a good thing for both sellers and buyers, I would say. Okay, I'm wrapping this up. So again, this is an excellent time to consult your agent. You'll want to consult your agent, and your agent is going to have real-time data to give you regarding your local market, how and when and where and what houses are moving in, as I say, your local area, or even your local zip code. So as I mentioned, I want to emphasize this is not a waiting game in my opinion, but at the end of the day, whether you're on the buyer's end or the seller's end, you have to do what's right for you. You have to make the decision, of course, based upon your numbers, your wants, your move timelines, your budget, and affordability options, and all of that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's all I have for you. I know it's a little bit shorter than my previous one. So, let's connect. So my contact info is here. You have my office number, cell number, email. This is the best email to get a hold of me. And I am all over on social media. Again, you're seeing this probably mainly on YouTube, although I am going to post this on my other social media accounts. But yeah, get a hold of me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. I regularly monitor this stuff. So leave a comment in the comment box below. And if you want to get in touch, I'd be happy to talk to you. I'd be happy to talk to you and crunch numbers with you and find out if this is a good time or if you want to wait. Maybe it makes more sense to wait, both on the seller's and buyer's side. So, yeah, so that's about, yeah, that's all I got. So this has been the weekly market recap of Monday, June 15th, the week of June 15th. And we'll see you next week. So you guys take care. And as I said, get a hold of me if you have any questions, and I'd love to connect. Talk later.